Counting on alums Derick and Jill Duggar Dillard previously shocked the world after appearing at the Duggar family's Christmas party. Jill is known for her estrangement from her parents. Things also got more complicated when Jill and Derick began to make shocking claims against Jim Bob and their church. However, some fans think Derick is starting to rebuild his relationship with his father-in-law. But his latest comments tell a different story. Keep reading to see his statements. Counting on Jill Duggar and Derick Dillard appear at the family's Christmas party. James took to Instagram just a day after Christmas to share photos from the family's get-together. The Christmas party at the big house has been a tradition in the family. But many Counting On fans were surprised that Derick and Jill attended the gathering amid their strained relationship with Jim Bob. One of the photos shows the two talking to Jim Bob while sitting on a sofa with him. It was reported that Jim Bob was unhappy when the married couple released a book featuring their challenging past with him and the IBLP. Jill previously stated that she and her parents have been working on their relationship. But it seems Derick still has some grudges about his father-in-law. Derick blasts Jim Bob friendship. Some Redditors reacted to Derick Dillard's recent comments to a news page, saying he and Jill were mingling with Jim Bob Duggar. According to the Counting On alum, he thinks being ambushed or being unknowingly photographed by someone you're at odds with is considered mingling, seemingly implying that his relationship with Jim Bob is far from being called friends. Derick added that Jim Bob was the one who approached them, and they talked for less than 10 minutes. He added that it was a huge Christmas party, and they were trying to be civil for the sake of their family. Tots fired. I bet he gagged after you wrote this. Exerted more energy than running. Posted on James's actual page. If you want to start something, Derick. Looking at James' Instagram post again, and it does seem kinda intentional. All the other pics are direct shots of people, and this one is just weird. The three of them are kind of the focus, even though it's just a picture of the back of the couch. Lol. I feel Derick on this. I completely understand being civil for the sake of enjoying a family holiday together. Jill still has minor siblings that I'm sure she wants to see, and her own kids have so many cousins to play with. I would have been pissed too if I were him. Lots of people made incorrect assumptions publicly about these pics. Counting On Jill Duggar shares first family outing of the year. Jill Duggar Dillard has yet to address Derick's recent IG rampage. However, the Counting On alum just uploaded new photos from their first trip of 2025. According to Jill, they started their year at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. They did many activities including rides and a cave tour. Jill continued to keep her kids' faces away from cameras. As well, the Duggar family has long been a subject of fascination, with their strict religious values, sprawling family tree, and reality TV fame. But behind the scenes of 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off, Counting On, tensions have been simmering. One of the most vocal critics from within the family's inner circle is Derick Dillard, husband of Jill Duggar. His ongoing feud with patriarch Jim Bob Duggar has frequently made headlines, with recent revelations casting doubt on the family's carefully cultivated image of unity. At the heart of Derick's latest outburst, a perceived betrayal of trust and friendship. The Duggar image versus reality. The Duggar family became household names through their reality TV show, portraying a life steeped in Christian values, familial love, and unity. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar presented themselves as doting parents who nurtured strong bonds between their 19 children. However, as the years have gone by, cracks in this facade have become increasingly visible. Derick Dillard, who married Jill in 2014, was initially seen as an enthusiastic addition to the Duggar clan. He and Jill appeared to embrace the family's lifestyle, even becoming central figures in Counting On. But as time passed, Derick began to distance himself from the Duggar narrative, raising questions about the dynamics between him and Jim Bob. Financial disputes. One of the key issues driving a wedge between Derick and Jim Bob is money. Derick has repeatedly alleged that Jim Bob controlled the family's financial arrangements, including payments from 19 Kids and Counting On. In a social media tirade, Derick claimed that he and Jill were never properly compensated for their time on the show. People have no idea how much control Jim Bob had over everything, Derick wrote. He negotiated all the contracts, and we were left in the dark. Jill and I sacrificed so much, and we didn't see a dime for years. According to Derick, Jim Bob received all the payments directly, doling out small allowances to his children as he saw fit. This lack of transparency left Derick and Jill feeling exploited. It wasn't just about money, Derick clarified in an interview. It was about respect. We weren't treated like adults. We weren't treated like family. the breakdown of trust. Beyond financial disputes, Derick has accused Jim Bob of fostering an environment of manipulation and control. He frequently alludes to a lack of genuine friendship between himself and his father-in-law. Jim Bob presents himself as everyone's best friend, Derick wrote in a blog post. But friendship isn't about control, it's about mutual respect and trust. He didn't trust us enough to make our own decisions. Derick has pointed to instances where he felt his autonomy as a husband and father was undermined. For example, he claims that Jim Bob pressured Jill to maintain certain appearances and follow strict family guidelines, even after they were married. "We wanted to carve out our own life, but it always felt like Jim Bob was pulling the strings," Derick said. "A true friend wouldn't do that." Jill's struggles and growth. Jill Duggar's journey has been a central part of this unfolding drama. Once considered the epitome of a Duggar daughter, Jill has since stepped away from many of her family's practices. She and Derick have openly discussed the strain this caused, particularly in her relationship with Jim Bob. "Jill has had to unlearn so much," Derick said in a YouTube Q&A. "She's realized that not everything she was taught growing up was healthy or right." Jill has taken several steps to assert her independence, including wearing pants, getting a nose piercing, and seeking therapy, decisions that reportedly angered Jim Bob. These choices symbolize Jill's desire to live authentically, even if it meant clashing with her father. In a joint statement, Jill and Derick shared, "We love our family, but we also have to protect our peace. We're learning how to set boundaries and build a life that reflects who we truly are." The public feud. Derick's criticisms of Jim Bob have not gone unnoticed by fans and critics alike. Social media has become a battleground where Derick shares his grievances, and fans weigh in with their opinions. In one particularly scathing post, Derick wrote, "Jim Bob talks about family, but his actions show otherwise. He's more concerned about his image than the well-being of his kids." The Duggar patriarch has largely remained silent, sticking to vague statements about family matters being private. But his refusal to directly address Derick's allegations has only fueled speculation, a call for transparency. Derick's outspokenness is part of a broader call for transparency within the Duggar family. He has expressed hope that by sharing his experiences, he can encourage others to question unhealthy dynamics in their own lives. "Too many people are trapped in toxic relationships because they're afraid to speak up," Derick said in a podcast interview. "I want people to know that it's okay to set boundaries, even with family." He also emphasized the importance of accountability, urging fans not to take the Duggar brand at face value. "Reality TV is just that, TV. It's not real life. The truth is often much more complicated." Moving forward. Despite the ongoing tension, Derick and Jill have expressed a desire for reconciliation. "We're not trying to burn bridges," Derick said. "But reconciliation requires honesty and change. We can't move forward if the same patterns keep repeating." In the meantime, Derick and Jill are focused on building a life that aligns with their values. They've stepped away from the limelight, prioritizing their two sons and their personal growth. "We're learning, we're healing, and we're growing," Jill said in a recent Instagram post. "Life isn't perfect, but it's ours, and that's enough." For fans of the Duggars, the feud between Derick and Jim Bob is a reminder that even the most picture-perfect families have their struggles. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the quest for authenticity and self-discovery often comes at a cost, but it's a price worth paying. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, subscribe to this channel, and stay tuned for all your updates.